Greetings, what's going on? I believe I'm live. It is Mike's from livemyassoff.com. I realize that it is 4:45 in the morning back east, and it is also pretty late in the evening, in the early morning in California. But regardless, what I wanted to do is I wanted to share with you this email that I got from the State Department, so that we can both read this together. It'll be able to be seen on the screen. Let me just verify. Yeah, I wanted you guys to see this for sure. Because a lot of my friends are people who travel internationally. So anyway, so as part of STEP, I get these travel advisories. And this one is a travel advisory, global health, level 4 health advisory, do not travel, right? And anyway, I just wanted to go through this. Department of State advises U.S. citizens to avoid all international travel. Okay, that completely makes sense, and it's because of COVID-19. I get it. Countries where commercial departure options remain available, U.S. citizens who live in the United States should arrange for immediate return to the United States unless they are prepared to remain abroad for an indefinite period. So naturally, that got my attention, right? And then it goes on to say that U.S. citizens who live abroad, which is me, should avoid all international travel. Okay, fine. I'm not going to get on a plane and go to Malaysia or go to Bali anytime soon. I get it. I'm staying here in Thailand. And then it goes on with more data that you're probably aware of. Because of the COVID-19 outbreaks, travel restrictions, mandatory quarantines, closing borders, and prohibiting non-citizens from entry with little advance notice. So again, I'm not coming in. I'm already here. I've been here since November, and so I'm not worried. Many airlines have canceled international flights. We all pretty much know that. If you choose to travel internationally, your travel plans may be severely disrupted, and you may be forced to remain outside the United States for an indefinite time frame. Now, obviously, it's indefinite. It's not infinite. But, they also don't say finite, right? I mean, obviously, because they don't know. I mean, I see these reporters asking Trump, can you give us a date, sir, when you think, I mean, come on. How is the guy, regardless of whether you like him or not, how is any leader of this right now going to be able to say, yep, we'll be done in 17 hours. We're good. So for the most part, he's saying, let's just wait out this, the 4 to 15 days or whatever. Anyway, what was important is this also important is on March 14th, the Department of State authorized the departure of U.S. personnel and family members from any diplomatic or consular post in the world who have determined they are at a higher risk of a poor outcome if exposed to COVID-19 or who have requested departure based on commensurate justification. These departures may limit the ability for U.S. embassies and consulates to provide services to U.S. citizens. Talked to a buddy of mine, Rike, and we were both in agreement that in the last 7 years for him, and certainly for me, the only time I've ever been at the U.S. embassy here, I've only been once in the U.S. embassy in Tijuana because I had to pick up a visa when I had a property down there. And then the other time was to pick up Gracie because Gracie was going over there to, basically get her visa to come to the U.S. But anyway, so I don't interpret that to mean that they're going to close all embassies. Okay. So, I mean, again, I'm trying to come at this without, the sky is falling and that sort of thing. Because I don't think it is. But nonetheless, I wanted to put this up there because I actually think it's a fairly interesting email. And I've never had an email from the State Department that says level 4, bro. So anyway, but it goes on to say, obviously visit travel.state.gov. And if you don't know, pardon me, if you don't know, that's also where you can, figure out about the STEP program and Smart Traveler Enrollment Program, and you can enroll as it says right there. But then this part too, if you decide to travel abroad or are already outside the United States, consider returning to your country of residence immediately using whatever commercial means are available. So that's pretty intense. And I was like, kind of made me raise an eyebrow. Have the second one it did as well. Have a travel plan that does not rely on the U.S. government for assistance. Now, I've never relied on the U.S. government for assistance other than to protect me from a TSA perspective or from a Customs and Border Patrol, to make sure that my country is safe, but also that transit is safe. So again, there's a little bit of ambiguity here that I'm not really thrilled with. Obviously, these other ones review and follow the CDC guidelines for prevention, wash your hands, and that sort of thing. Check with your airlines, cruise lines, or tour operators. Yeah, that's pretty standard. Visit travel.state.gov. to view travel advisories. Now, I have gone to the travel advisories up there, and then, of course, because of where I am, right, they email me and they give me the location of my local, of the local, the embassies local to me based on where I'm traveling. Had I chosen other countries, then likely they would have probably included those embassies there, right? So if I put hey, by the way, I'm also in the Philippines, or I'm also in Vietnam, I'm sure they would choose local embassies there. I don't really think that the U.S. Embassy in Bangkok is going to close anytime soon. If you're not familiar with it, it's gigantic. It basically is on two sides of the road. The majority of the humans will interface with it pretty much on the west side. I think that's right. Is that right? West side, east side. Anyway, regardless, it's where you can see the embassy. The other side, they have like ponds and other places so it's not really as populated, but they definitely have a lot of offices there. There are a lot of people working at the U.S. Embassy here in Bangkok. So I'm not too concerned that that's going to close down anytime soon. I really can't imagine this is going to get so crazy that I'm going to need the assistance of my government to get the hell out of here. I don't. I just simply don't. And I'm not saying this is blown out of proportion, but it has certainly heightened my attention to global affairs and more politics than I ever wanted to, pay attention to, and more stress over, finances and that sort of thing. But again, like I said in a previous video, I've planned my life like 2 and 3 years out. So that's not an issue. I don't have it planned out 30 years, like quite frankly, the Chinese and a lot of Asian cultures, they're thinking 30, 50 years ahead of time, right? But I get that right now we're all very focused on COVID-19 and the coronavirus and what am I going to do and that sort of thing. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I hope it adds value. So, subscribe, like, share, do whatever you want. But the point is that if you have friends that are traveling, that notice may or may not have gone out to them. I have a bunch of friends that are international travelers, and hardly anybody signs up for STEP. And all it is the notification to the State Department, basically where you're going to be. And I do that just for various reasons. But the point is that I hope this adds value. It's Mike from Bangkok, Thailand, saying I hope you're living the dream. And I hope that you get home, wherever home is. I hope you get home safely. Talk to you soon. Ciao.